I'll be your passenger tonight. Let's close our eyes and put a finger on a map, and where it lands is where we'll drive.
Remy is the kind of person who wakes up in the morning and thinks about what kind of impact she can make.
Remy Wines really was a lifelong passion. I wanted to be a winemaker since I was a little girl, and I started working in wine when I was 14 years old and have pretty much never stopped.
I've worked in the wine industry for decades now, and so much of it is built on creating kind of a luxury experience that feels a little unattainable to a lot of people, and there's a vibe at Remy Wines that is down to earth, grassroots, and it just feels like a comfortable place to be with friends. It feels like you're at someone's home.
Throughout the years, I seem to become progressively more and more queer friendly. She figuratively and literally covered McMinnville in rainbows.
It doesn't matter where you are, as you're walking around with her, somebody ends up inevitably shouting, "That's my mayor."
She really looked forward as far as what are our challenges and what are our opportunities to grow McMinnville in a thoughtful, kind, and considerate way to be the community moving into the future.
We've changed the experience of being queer here. And I think for those of us that live here, that is an everyday huge impact. Like, I can go out and find community. People used to refer to me as the lesbian. Now I'm just the Remy.
As a young queer person living in rural Oregon, I felt that I needed to move to the bigger city to find the community when it was in my backyard.
I think about the saying, perfection is the enemy of progress, and that is not something that binds Remy.
What I've learned from Remy is how much we can accomplish when we work together.
You want to create community, you have to be in community. That means actively showing up.
Working with Remy makes me brave, and that there is always something that can be done.
You know, queerness doesn't have boundaries of race or ethnicity or socioeconomic status or educational attainment. Queerness just is all of humanity, and so we have that approach of making the queer community feel welcome here. That means our intent's to make everyone feel welcome here.
I think Remy could easily have just created Remy Wines and made this an amazing hub for the queer community, and instead Remy's looking wider, and she's looking across communities and thinking about not just how can this place be safe, but how can we engage the rest of McMinnville, how can we engage the rest of Oregon and beyond to really sort of fly that flag of like, this is a place for everybody.
Queer Wine Fest is a celebration of queer-owned, queer-made, and queer-grown wine from across the country. It's a pride event, essentially, where we just celebrate gay-made wine.
Yeah, I think last year the event supported over 30 queer-owned businesses between the artists, the caterer, PDX wine events. We had tons of queer businesses that got support through the event itself. That was huge.
Queer Wine Fest, by the way, is also a zero waste event. She brings in somebody who sorts the garbage so that we are a zero waste event.
Every single thing that Remy does has so much thought and so much intention, and I think even if you're from far away, it's so obvious. You can feel it when you're here.
There is so much joy at Remy Wines. There's so much joy being friends with Remy. There's so much joy working with her. There's so much joy.
So much pride.
So much pride. Yes.